The problem with the Christian Coalition is not that they are Bible thumpers, parentheses, there are personal beliefs that often result from religious experiences, close parentheses, but that they are bigots, end of quote. Did I quote that correctly?
I believe you did.
Did you write that?
I did write that when I was 18 years old, or 20 years old, excuse me. I do want to be clear. I do not agree with that today. I wrote that before I went to law school, before I had any kind of
You were a grown woman when you wrote this.
I'm sorry?
You were a grown woman when you wrote this.
Welcome back to our channel, The Capitol Watch. Today, we're diving into a blistering Senate Judiciary Committee hearing where Senator John Kennedy did not hold back. His target? Biden's judicial nominee, Rita Lynn. What started as a routine nomination review quickly turned into a political firefight.
Judge Gray, I may vote for you anyway, but I'll commit right now in front of God and country to vote for you if you'll move back to Louisiana. Judge Lynn, I've read a number of your writings. I want to, you wrote an article in December of 1998 entitled Person of Faith, Race and Religion as Experiential Knowledge. You wrote it in a journal called Perspective. And this is what you said, I quote, your words, not mine. The problem with the Christian Coalition is not that they are Bible thumpers, parentheses, there are personal beliefs that often result from religious experiences, close parentheses, but that they are bigots, end of quote. Did I quote that correctly?
I believe you did.
Did you write that?
I did write that when I was 18 years old, or 20 years old, excuse me. I do want to be clear. I do not agree with that today. I wrote that before I went to law school, before I had any kind of
You were a grown woman when you wrote this.
I'm sorry?
You were a grown woman when you wrote this.
I was 20 years old when I wrote it. It was before I had a professional career.
You were in your third year at Harvard?
I was
I've seen you at Harvard.
I was a junior at Harvard.
Junior. So you were 3/4 of the way through your Harvard education, and you wrote that.
That is correct, Senator. It is
Wow.
20 years before I became a judge. I do not agree with it today. I do want to be clear about that.
Okay. Judge Simmons, let me just ask you a couple of questions. You finished law school in 2004?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you ever tried a case in federal court?
I have not seen there.
Have you ever filed a brief in federal court?
I have not practiced in federal court. My entire practice has been in the state court.
Okay. Have you ever argued a motion in federal court?
I have my entire practice of over 12 years as a prosecutor has been in state court, Senator.
Okay. Have you ever, you serve as a state court judge, have you ever presided over a jury trial as a state court judge?
In the 5 years that I've been on the Superior Court bench, I have been in a moving department, and now I'm the supervising judge.
Have you ever tried a jury trial?
As an attorney, I have tried.
No, as a judge.
As a judge, I have presided over court trials, not jury trials, sir.
No, so the answer is no.
I have not presided over jury trials as a judge.
Have you, in the 5 years you've been on the state bench, have you ever written any opinions, issued any opinions?
Well, sir, I've been in moving departments in the 5 years that I've been as a Superior Court judge. We don't issue written opinions in moving departments on the Superior Court.
So the answer is no?
In the 5 years I've been on the Superior Court, I've been in moving departments. We don't issue written opinions in moving departments.
Okay. What is the...
It all began when Kennedy zeroed in on an article Rita Lynn wrote during her college years at Harvard. The piece labeled the Christian Coalition as bigots. Kennedy, visibly shocked, quoted the article word for word and demanded answers. Let me be clear, these are your words, not mine. Lynn, now a judicial nominee for the Northern District of California, apologized, insisting those views no longer reflect her current beliefs. Kennedy wasn't satisfied. He pushed further, reminding the room that Lynn was a Harvard junior at the time, no teenager, and pressed her on whether such a strong ideological stance could still influence her judgment on the bench. Lynn repeated her apology, emphasizing her evolution since then, but the tension only grew thicker. Next, Kennedy aimed at another nominee, Judge Simmons, his focus, experience, or the lack thereof. No federal courtroom cases, no jury trials, no written opinions in 5 years on the bench. So the answer is no? Kennedy asked repeatedly, underscoring what he described as major gaps in qualifications. Kennedy switched gears, rapid-firing legal questions like a pop quiz. What's the standard of review for questions of fact? What's the holding in Map v. Ohio? What's Chevron deference? Enumerated or plenary powers in the Constitution? While Simmons answered some, she admitted others had escaped her at the moment, prompting criticism about readiness for a federal seat. This hearing is sparking major debate online. Critics argue Kennedy is grandstanding, while supporters say he's doing vital vetting. The spotlight on past writings and courtroom experience reflects the high stakes of lifetime judicial appointments. Polls and social media are already lighting up, and this exchange is sure to influence both public opinion and Senate votes. The battle lines are drawn. Senator Kennedy's tough questioning highlighted deep concerns over ideological bias and lack of federal experience. But will it be enough to derail these nominations? That's what we'll be watching next. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest moments in American politics. See you in the next video. Stay informed, stay sharp.